Get ready for some wow on the Signature Mike Show.
I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I always love being in your living room. Thank you for turning the tube on. You may be watching this on YouTube later, but we appreciate it. I have some great guests today. I have Barbara Dubois. She is with Mark Herbert's Villages at Bordeaux. We're going to talk to her in a little bit, and we're going to talk about her poor mishap with her leg. And then I have Corey Rogers with the Lucy Laney Museum. Thank you both for being here today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay, Corey, Lucy Laney Museum. That is an amazing organization in Augusta that if people don't know about it, they need to learn.
Thank you.
Today.
I appreciate it. And thank you for having me here today to share a little bit about the Laney Museum. The museum itself opened in the summer of 1991.
Okay.
And actually, it was an idea born from a group of women with a vision. So members of the Augusta alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, they were looking for a permanent residence.
Okay.
And as they were kind of moving around the city, meeting in different places, they finally settled upon this place at 1116 Phillips Street. Now, what happened was in 1986, the house caught fire.
Okay.
And there was a woman living in the home, Margaret Louise Laney, the niece of legendary educator Lucy Craft Laney. She was a member of the sorority.
Okay.
So through that connection, the family reached out, made the connection with the sorority, and from there, they began the process of transforming this residential home into a long-lasting and thriving museum. And so that brings us to today.
That is amazing. What a great story. Wow. Let's educate everyone if they don't know who Lucy Laney is. Lucy Craft Laney. She was born in 1854, passed in 1933.
Yes.
She lived a nice, long life.
Nice, long life, Mike. And during that arc of her life, she lived through a lot. If you think about 1854 to 1933, she lived through the twilight of the Civil War, the Reconstruction period, the onset of legal segregation, and through the Great Depression. And through all of that, she was able to achieve so much in Augusta. She transformed education in America post-Civil War for African-American boys and girls. Came to Augusta in the 1870s, went to Savannah, Georgia, then came back to Augusta in the 1880s and established a school that became known as the Haynes Normal and Industrial Institute. It was a private boarding school that by the early 20th century attracted students from all over the country that were coming here. So many people were engaged and excited about the Haynes Institute that even Mary McLeod Bethune, legendary educator, got her initial start at Haynes in Augusta, Georgia. So Ms. Laney was much more than just a teacher. She was transformational in what she did with her work.
That is absolutely amazing what she's done for Augusta, for the history of our culture in Augusta.
Agreed.
Absolutely amazing. She promoted women's voting rights.
Yes, yes.
I mean, she just spearheaded a lot of things. And again, back to what you said, back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, I mean, there was a lot of unrest going on, and you know, things weren't as organized in our country as they are now. And
she was almost like a calming presence. If you think about all of the unrest, as you mentioned, all the things that were happening, she steadied the ship, if you will. One of the other things that Miss Laney created while she was here in Augusta in the 1890s was the development of nursing training for young women. And so I often like to think of the Lamar Nursing School as one of the first interracial coalitions in Augusta, where she brought together Dr. George Stoney, an African-American doctor, and Dr. William Dougherty, a white doctor, and they partnered to form this nursing training program. So if you can imagine, here was this woman, barely 5 feet tall, but had the respect of everyone in Augusta. She commanded respect, she received respect, and through that, she was able to sort of push forward her initiatives. You know, I often like to say, Mike, when young people study this period in American history, they often talk about Dr. W.B. Du Bois, they talk about Booker T. Washington,
Sure.
The aforementioned Mary McLeod Bethune, but if I'm creating a Mount Rushmore of leaders from this generation, I'm putting Miss Laney on there first.
absolutely, first and foremost.
Yes.
Wow, what a woman. So what can people find in the museum?
So we have a little bit of everything. I think first and foremost, people often think that since we're a house museum, we're solely dedicated to Lucy Laney. In fact, When the museum first started, the board of directors and the early curators and directors recognized something fundamentally important about Miss Laney. She did not exist in a vacuum. There were other people in Augusta and in the country doing some amazing things, and we try to tie all of that together. For example, walking through the museum, you're going to see an article from 1921 when opera singer Marian Anderson performed on the campus of Miss Laney's school.
Wow.
You're going to see where the Fitzjubilee singers came here annually to Augusta. And one of my favorites, and we actually captured him, we immortalized him in a mural that just went up earlier this year. We also talk about when Joseph Henry Douglas, concert violinist and grandson to Frederick Douglass, came to Augusta. So there's a little bit of everything in the museum. We talk about T.W. Josie. We talk about the Reverend C.T. Walker. We talk about all of these famous people who today have schools named for them, streets named for them. But if you want to find out their origins, the Laney Museum is the place you want to be.
That is amazing. We need to talk to people about how they can support the Lucy Laney Museum.
Sure. You can find us on any of our social media outlets, but you can go directly to our website, lucycraftlaneymuseum.com, and we have a donation portal. We also have our giving tree. And so in years past, people often did the giving bricks,
yes,
where they would give. Well, we took it one step further, and we have this tree where you can buy a leaf. And that gives you or gives the public a way to show that you support what we do at the Laney Museum. So if you're in Augusta, bring somebody by for a tour. We have programs all the time, so we're always looking to connect and communicate with the public.
Very good, very good. I wish we had more time to talk about all of the events, but they can go to your website.
Yes.
There's all kinds of events and fundraisers and ways that people can get involved.
Most certainly.
With the museum. Well, I can't thank you enough for being here today.
Thank you.
So important in our climate here in Augusta, and we're so happy that we had Lucy Laney Museum here with us.
Thank you again.
Awesome.
All right.
Stay tuned. I have Barbara Dubois. We're going to talk about her broken leg. We'll be right back.
At F&M Bank, you're more than a customer. You're family. We believe banking should feel like home, familiar faces, real conversations, and service that's rooted in values and built on relationships. We take the time to know your name, your story, and your dreams. With roots in Washington and Augusta, we're proud to grow with our neighbors. F&M Bank, growing strong, one neighbor at a time.
It's hard to know where to start when shopping for home or kitchen appliances, but you can count on Kelly Appliance for exceptional value and dedicated customer service. Family owned and operated since 1962, their friendly and knowledgeable staff will see you through the entire process, from selecting the right product to experienced delivery and installation. It's no wonder that Kelly Appliance is consistently awarded for their service and expertise. Visit Kelly Appliance at one of their 2 convenient locations in Martinez and Aiken.
Come on, let's make this moon shine all day. Let's make this world with everything you say. It's so easy and so wonderful to feel this way. To feel this way.
The ultimate driving machine for everyone at Taylor BMW.
Home isn't just a place, it's where life happens. At the Villages at Bordeaux, each townhome invites you to build memories, celebrating life's little moments and big dreams. Thoughtfully crafted by Herbert Homes, your home offers comfort, energy efficiency, and easy access to our event center, Bordeaux Steak and Seafood, I-20, and downtown Thompson. Ready to find your place? Call today to schedule your tour of the Villages at Bordeaux.
You just saw the Villages at Bordeaux, and I can't wait to share with you today what we're going to talk about the Villages and the model homes that were there. Still one, I believe. I have Barbara Dubois with me today. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me back.
You have one model home left.
We have one model home left.
Because they looked so good that they sold furnished.
Yes.
Who was the designer? Who was the great designer who designed? Oh, it was me. I forgot all about it.
Could there be any other?
I'm sorry, that was a shameless plug. Well, your poor leg, what did you do? You need to tell, everybody loves you, that you need to tell everybody what happened.
So I was doing a good deed, and we moved out of the suburbs into like a little rural area, and one of the baby cows got out, and this is not the first time it's happened. I texted the owner, hey, one of the babies is out, and the mom was real mad, so I went to go save it, and in my heroic effort, I slipped, fell, heard something pop, and needless to say, I broke my leg and never got the baby cow back in. But the owner finally at some point got him back in.
Oh, that's such a shame. But you're doing a good deed, and you're such an animal lover.
I do.
Yes, and those cows, you can't say no. They're
I
so
love
cute.
them. Yes.
Their big eyes and everything. I love it. So the Villages at Bordeaux, you do have a model home out there, and I think it's important. I thought we would talk today about model homes and how that can help people visualize what a space is going to look like when they're living there.
Yeah, it's really hard when home shoppers are looking at homes and they come into this empty space. And to be able to visualize what size furniture fits, how will the flow work once you put the furniture in, how does each space going to work with itself, especially if you have an open floor plan.
Exactly.
So when you come in, and like you did with ours, shameless plug, we go ahead and we say, oh my gosh, now these people could visualize, you know, like in the townhomes we're in, and you're working with just under 1,300 square feet, I could really have a table that large.
Yes.
I didn't think I could, but the space still works, and it flows, and you can actually entertain large people there. Or like the primary bedroom, you put a king-size bed in.
Yeah.
And to see the amount of space, and they say, okay, well, I have this, and let me place that. I always make sure that I bring people through the furnished model first before showing them an empty canvas. But it is important for them to see that empty canvas so they could place their own furniture in and their own art on the walls, and just visualize how to make that their home.
Right, because it can be
overwhelming.
Overwhelming, absolutely, when they go to a stark place. And so the models that we did, I wouldn't say we staged some, because staging sometimes is just a few suggestive pieces, but we actually kind of furnished the whole things. I would like to share with everybody at home some of the models that we did out there. We have a living room here. Take a look at this one. One thing about this, so I like to create themes sometime, and because we did several, this was more of a farmhouse theme.
Yes.
And you can see, you know, I did farmhouse pictures. The windows you want to keep nice and light, and these could be tricks for your home. Sometimes people want to live in a model home. They're like, I want to look like I live in a model home. So, you know, you could take some of these and incorporate those into your daily living, not just a model home.
And this one we actually sold completely furnished. They had actually lost their home in a fire.
Okay.
So this was an absolute blessing, and they loved everything in this home.
That's great. Well, you know, we did the plaid chairs, trying to stay with the farmhouse theme. So textures were important. So we have that one. The next picture is another living room of the one next door, I think. And this one's more city slicker. Yep. So I did, like, you know, the New York City skyline, has some metallics in there, so it blings a little bit. But we just went more modern with this. Even the lamps, I mean, just thinking of a theme and carrying it through, because we had three models. It's, you know, sometimes somebody might look at this and say, oh, it's too modern for me. This unit's too modern. But because, again, it's psychological. But maybe the farmhouse appealed to them.
But not only that, I love how you did it, because as we were able to take them through the same exact floor plan with the different furnishings and the different window coverings, it evokes a whole different home.
Exactly, yeah. I have a third living room here. Look at this one. This one is more traditional, maybe transitional, because those chairs are a little modern, but just kind of transitional. But again, a totally different flavor, totally different vibe from the other three. You know, nice big chunky lamps, fewer things but larger things. You want to ground everything with the rug. That was important. And I wanted to do some different window treatments, keeping those windows as open as possible because we want the light to come in.
And also, this is our current model, and we get the, oh my gosh, I would have never thought to put that large of a picture over the sofa.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, it just blows people away.
Yeah, well, again, you want to draw, when you walk in the door, you want to draw your eye back to the back, so we need something a little of a statement back there to draw you into the space. The next picture shows one of the dining rooms, and this was what was so important. It seemed like a small space, but in angling that dining room table, it really opened it up, and it showed that you could sit 6 people easily in the dining room space.
Yeah, and that added mirror as well.
It
really.
opened up that space. So that mirror was on the same wall as that big picture we
Right.
saw in the living room a minute ago. So you have this really long, wide wall. So it's nice to chop it up a little bit with those visuals. And then, of course, unique bar stools at the counter there. That worked really well. Let's go on to a couple bedrooms if we have time. Take a look here. Again, I love adding the mirrors over the bed because it adds extra depth and opens the space up a little bit.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, a little window treatment. The next bedroom, somewhat similar, say a different type of mirror, but the same kind of idea. But again, it just really opens up
And
that
reflects
space.
that light and adds more light, because a lot of times in townhomes you don't have as much light as you would in a single family. So bringing that in
Exactly.
was a great idea.
Yeah, the next bedroom was a smaller bedroom. We did a queen bed. We only had room for one nightstand, but again, we made a nice impression on that wall and, you know, showed a nice guest bedroom. And then the next picture, again, just theming. We have more of a country theme there. And then the last one is a little more modern.
Yes, very
So, yeah, so that's what we have with the model homes. And again, I hope it inspires people to maybe think of something like this in their home, or if they have an Airbnb or a
Yeah.
rental property, that helps.
And a lot of times we'll get people to come to the model home and they're like, we're not looking for a house, we just want to see your design.
Oh, I love it. Well, I'm flattered. That's a very nice compliment.
Yeah, so
I love it. Well, thank you for being here
Well,
with
thank
us
you for
today. I
having us.
appreciate you making the effort with
Thanks.
your leg. Such a terrible thing. But
I
anyway,
know.
check out the Villages at Bordeaux. You won't be shocked, even if you just want to see the model home and say hi to Barbara and wish her well on her leg.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. I'll be right back. I have a really great design dilemma next on the Signature Mike Show.
Hi, Suzanne Lilly Honeymichael here with Hardwood Floors and More. It's our favorite sale of the year for the entire month of July. You can save up to 20% on everything that is made in America, which includes hardwood, carpet, lighting, Lee Industries furniture, wallpaper, and more. And as an added bonus, Hardwood Floors and More will have savings on items that are red, white, or blue. Hardwood Floors and More, so much more in store for you.
Imagine a life filled with energy, adventure, and clarity, where each day is a new opportunity. At Be Healthy Medical Weight Loss, we're here to turn that vision into reality. With over 15 years of experience in the Augusta area, our specialists are dedicated to guiding your health journey. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds or 100, trust our experts to get you to your goals confidently and safely. Buzz on over to 4150 Washington Road so you can thrive at the Hive.
What if the perfect pair of shoes could transform more than just your outfit? At Signature Soles and Apparel, it's not just about fashion, it's about finding the pieces that make you feel confident, unique, and ready to take on the world. From stunning shoes to statement outfits and accessories, every item is carefully chosen to help you express your personality. Let our friendly team help you discover your next favorite look. Signature Soles and Apparel, where every step you take feels beautifully you.
We talk a lot about fireplaces, and I explain how they're the focal point of the room and how they need to be addressed accordingly, because sometimes they look like a second thought, but you know, it is the focal point of the room. I want to share with you one thing that a lot of people do tend to forget. I get a lot of people writing in for a design dilemma and they need some help, and I see their fireplaces and they just look kind of blank and they need a little help. First of all, just dressing them up with a fireplace screen can add so much. Can you see me through there? But it adds so much. Something like this. Now, this is a black finish. We can get this in bronze. It's really nice. We can also get it in a gold that you see here. What's nice about these is that they have the wings on them. So depending on your opening, you can open it or close it a little bit more depending on how wide your opening is. So always think about a fireplace screen. And when you're doing that, think about also layering it with a green or something. Sometimes this can be a little blank, but just throwing a little green in front of the fireplace screen, look how that can work with your whole setup, and it creates a lot of attention to your fireplace. But that works really, really well. I want to share with you a very popular fireplace screen that I sell quite a bit. I actually have it in my home as well. It's quite unique. It looks like little branches. But take a look at that. That's a really nice fireplace screen. Now, it's a little different in that it doesn't expand. It is what it is, but a lot of fireplace openings aren't much wider. This tends to work really well for my clients. If you're crafty, if the gold doesn't work, you could spray paint it out to a silver or maybe a bronze. You could certainly do that, but this comes in a gold tone only. But again, you can make it work for yourself. So I've had a few people write in. Thank you very much. And ask me what to do with their fireplaces. And so I have my first picture here that someone wrote in, and look at that fireplace. Look at that big wall. A lot of us have these volume ceilings, so these fireplaces just kind of float there on the wall. They're not grounded at all. So I want to show you a little something you can do with this. What I would recommend, especially if you have that two-story ceiling and you have a lot of height there. So we have the picture here, and come up, I've talked about trim before. Maybe have a trim carpenter come in and just do some trim from your fireplace all the way up like this on that wall. Here's our crown molding up here. Do something like that. You could come in, we're using board and batten a lot. You could certainly do something like that. Board and batten are like these, they can be any width, but it's a 1x material, usually 1.5 or 2.5 inches wide. And we kind of create a frame around the whole thing. With that, we can even do it at the bottom. We can come in here and create some little boxes with that board and batten. We could do something like this. If we want, we could come in with something like this. And then what I would recommend, what you do then, you paint all of this a contrasting color to the wall. So if we have paint, a different color paint on all of this, look how that would give you some wow over your fireplace. You could as well, then once you have this up, you could install a piece of art over this board and batten. We could do a piece of art here. I mean, look at the statement that makes, but look what that does for the room. Really, really fantastic. It kind of looks like I have mirror there, but you could do mirror if you'd like. That's great. Let's go to the next one. This already has a nice architectural feature in that you see the wall that the fireplace is on comes out a little bit. So we already have that, but again, it's just kind of blah there. One thing I love about this picture, and we've talked about before, is not adding built-ins to the left and the right. A lot of people will put those bookcases in, and then you're stuck with those, and then you've got a lot of mess going on. You've got a lot of stuff in those bookcases, and I've tried to educate and inspire you to do bookcases a little different, not so many shelves, some bigger items, some artwork there. But let's say we're dealing with this, and we have this wall that juts out. Again, I would say take a paint and just paint this a contrasting color. That's what I would do. Paint that a contrasting color and see how then that pops off of the rest. Makes a nice big statement. The next one, again, we have the built-in. So if you have something like this, what I would say is omit some of those shelves. If we have some of these, come in here and maybe just do a few shelves like this and not so many. Get rid of some of those, open it up, do some larger pieces. The next one is a before and after. I'd love to show you. This was a before room, and when you walked into the space, we wanted something to pull you back into the space. Take a look at what I did next. Look at that. Look at the drama. It pulls your eye right back to that fireplace. It makes a big wow. It's a very modern space, but this was a really fun client that I was able to pull some great color in and make a big pop. So I hope that might give you a little inspiration for your fireplace walls. I appreciate you writing in. If you have a design dilemma, email me at mike@signaturemike.com. I love hearing from you. Tell me what you like about the show, and we'll be right back with my guest for the day.
Welcome to Bordeaux's Steak and Seafood in Thompson, Georgia, where casual dining meets Southern charm, and every meal feels like a special occasion. Our mouth-watering steaks, fresh seafood, and handcrafted cocktails set the stage for unforgettable moments. Whether it's date night, a family celebration, or just because, Bordeaux offers the perfect mix of comfort and class. Come see us tonight. You're always welcome at our table.
Welcome to Second City Distillery. We are handcrafted one bottle at a time in the heart of Augusta, Georgia. Come visit us and discover the art of distillation like never before. Our spirits are curated, ensuring every bottle tells a story of passion and dedication. From our smooth, award-winning bourbon to our crisp and refreshing vodka, we offer a diverse range of flavors that capture the essence of our passion. Join us for a tasting or a tour and experience the spirit of Augusta with Second City Distillery. Cheers.
It's hard to know where to start when shopping for home or kitchen appliances, but you can count on Kelly Appliance for exceptional value and dedicated customer service. Family owned and operated since 1962, their friendly and knowledgeable staff will see you through the entire process, from selecting the right product to experienced delivery and installation. It's no wonder that Kelly Appliance is consistently awarded for their service and expertise. Visit Kelly Appliance at one of their 2 convenient locations in Martinez and Aiken.
Ever wonder what truly makes a house a home? It's all the thoughtful touches, all the little details that bring personality and character to any space. At Signature Interiors and Gifts, we believe that your home should be as unique as you are. Our collection is a treasure trove of inspiration, just waiting for you to explore. Our team would be honored to help you create a home that's not just lived in, but truly loved. Signature Interiors and Gifts, where every corner of your home tells your story.
Hey, you saw my store right there. Come in and say hi to us. I'm not there all the time because I am working in clients' homes or I'm filming the TV. But anyway, sometimes I am there and you can catch me. But I have great staff that can take good care of you. We have everything. Furniture, lamps, rugs, art, anything for your home, interior, exterior, we've got you covered. Do you all have a fireplace dilemma at your home at all? Do you have an issue?
I had to have one added to my new house.
Okay.
And no, I don't have a dilemma in this house because we actually gave it a little bit of thought when we moved into this one.
Okay, good. But you have a fireplace.
Yes.
And you
with
created
a screen.
some drama. Okay,
Yes.
Corey, what about you?
No fireplace.
So, okay.
So no dilemma at this point.
Perfect. Well, if you don't have the fireplace, you don't need that focal point. You know, our TVs tend to become the focal point a lot of times,
that's true.
And that's part of the problem. People don't want to put a TV over the fireplace because of the heat and all of that. So it's a puzzle that we have to build and put together. But hopefully, my dilemma today helped people because those fireplaces sometimes can just kind of float there, and they just need a little more drama. They need a little something else.
Wow.
Wow, that's the word.
Wow
a little
factor.
bit of wow.
Those
You
are great
hear my
ideas.
theme song for
Great
sure.
ideas, yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for both being on the
Thank
show
you.
today. I love learning more about the Lucy Laney Museum. Fantastic. I love it. Well, catch us on YouTube, the Signature Mike channel. You can catch me on Facebook and Instagram. We are everywhere. And again, if you have a design dilemma, email me at mike@signaturemike.com. I love hearing from you. We love being in your living room today, and we'll see you next time on the Signature Mike Show. Bye-bye.
All right.